Hello OCR students, you're going to have to do 3 8-mark evaluation-based questions throughout your economics papers. One in paper 1, one in paper 2, one in paper 3. In papers 1 and 2, the 8-marker will come after the short questions in section A, and in paper 3 it's going to come in section B. So when you have extracts in section B, there'll be an 8-mark evaluate question to do there as well. So it comes in all 3 papers, but you should keep this very, very simple. And this goes for pretty much all evaluation questions in OCR exams for economics. Keep things simple. All you're looking to do after your definitions is to write a 2-sided argument with a judgment at the end. Keep things simple as that. 2-sided argument with a judgment, that's all you're looking to do on these kinds of questions. Let's go straight into the structure. Okay, so definitions first of all. What would you need to define? Well, all the key terms in the question, make sure you nail those definitions, get them 100% right, word for word perfect to start with. Then go straight into answering the question on the one hand. You're looking for 1 point, that's it, on the one hand, to answer the question there. And the paragraph that you write must have these core skills in them. Detailed analysis. Analysis is just your knowledge of the theory. So the point you're making, how well can you explain the theory of that point? Detailed analysis. Look to make chains of analysis there. You want to apply. Now I'll put a little asterisk there. The application might be from the extract material that you're given in all 3 papers. You can see whether the extract material is helpful. Maybe the question specifies you to use the extract material, in which case that's where you get your application from. But if not, then you need to apply on your own. So your own examples of application is important there. So do you need the case study? Maybe you do need to explicitly use it, maybe you don't need to explicitly use it. Think about what you're doing with application there. But the application that you use must back up the point that you're trying to make. That's important. Okay? And also you want to evaluate your point. So towards the end of the paragraph, once you've made your point clearly, in detail on the one hand, with your application as well, maybe with a diagram that you want to use too, then look to evaluate the point. I made a very detailed video covering evaluation in economics, a very useful video with all the secrets of how to evaluate well and the 4 different ways to evaluate. Go and watch that video if you want more tips. Similarly, I made a video covering paragraph formation. Watch that if you want to understand in more detail how to hit these core skills right. But just one final thing to say, if you're drawing a diagram to make your point or to help you explain your point, make sure that your diagram is accurate and make sure that you refer to it in your writing. Talk about your shifts if you're shifting curves and why you're shifting curves. Refer to the shifts and crucially refer to your axis. What's happening on the y-axis, what's happening on the x-axis and why. That will get you the big marks for your use of diagrams. So just 1 point on the one hand. Once you've done that, on the other hand, make a point in exactly the same way. Make sure you answer the question, but in exactly the same way you need to explain your point. Detailed analysis with chains, application again, maybe using the case study, maybe not, depending on what the question expects you to do, and then evaluate that point towards the end as well. That would be lovely for the examiner. Again, you might want to use a diagram to help you, depends on what the point is that you're making. If you use a diagram, the same general points that you need to cover as I mentioned before. Then you need to write a judgment. This is important. You can't score full marks unless you have a judgment. And in your judgment, all you need to do is to explicitly answer the question. So literally, answer the question just in 1 sentence. So answer that question and then support. Why have you answered it that way? A simple sentence supporting that answer and you will get your marks for the judgment. So that covers the 8-marker, whether it's paper 1, paper 2 or paper 3. Keep it simple. This structure, follow it well and you will score your 8 marks. See you all for the next video where we look at the 12-marker.